Venusaur is like just like a chill, like big dinosaur guy with a cool flower on his back. He looks. It's only in a stadium he looks weird when he has like these like bloodshot eyes, like he smoked too much weed or something.
Oh my, I was just to say, like he every time he does an attack or he gets hit, he's just like, his eyes just go blood
like,
red.
Shaking his like shit. Yeah. To me, he's the original leech seeder. Like he was like the OG, and he'd had like vine whip. His eye, like he's got some good shit to like penalize people. Like if you're smart, Venusaur's like the smart one.
He's literally like
figure out a weird way.
Like if he had synthesis, if he had all the moves, what's his face, Chikorita had, like literally. I don't know. Like
he's a better Chikorita.
They had a year. They had 2 years to figure out what was better. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, Nintendo, fix your games, Nintendo. Realize how to design games better.
Anyway. Fix your fucking Chikorita, please patch.
Please patch. We need day 3022 day patches. So.
Yeah. We're gonna have to connect our Game Boy Colors to the internet and patch out the bad Chikorita bugs. So Alan finds that funny.
The funny thing, there was that like, it's funny that we joke about that. I think in Japan, so like you know how you you got Celebi back in the day, right?
Oh yeah, there was like a GS ball, and like you had to go to an event or something. There was a whole thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it was exclusively even Japan, but in certain places in Japan, like certain stores, whatever the EB Games equivalent was, like you just went there and you just connected your Game Boy to the thing, or you needed some kind of phone attachment to your Game Boy Color. Now, that could be all entirely stipulation.
Oh, I have heard about that. It connects to like those Nokia-looking phones, right?
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know exactly what. It's one of those things like yes, we don't live in Japan. We don't like know too much about it.
Yeah.
This guy's blocking. He's guarding the way back. He like there's all these random attachments that like we just never heard about. Like I know there was that whole Angry Video Game Nerd episode about Game Boy attachments and whatnot.
Yes. Oh man, that was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
'Cause it felt like one of the more classic episodes in like the modern era. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. He's like, here it's. He's like, what the fuck? Why do I need a? Wait, the whole. I want to be put asleep, or I want to be drugged by the Game Boy. He says he has a whole song. It's like it's referencing a song. Fuck. What does he say? I want to be the Game Boy.
I forget myself. It's been a little bit. I need to rewatch that one because I loved his like Super Game Boy by the end where he put it all on.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. A majority of the really good N64 games were all meant to be on the disc drive.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine Ocarina of Time, but like on a disc drive? Like that's crazy.
Like that game, like there's a lot of sick things about that. Kind of runs at like 12 frames per second the whole time. Like the console kind of like
it's really bad. Oh yeah.
It takes some time. Like I think other than in the disc drive games, I think Majora's Mask is the biggest game at 64 megabytes or 32 megabytes. Not a big game.
Yeah, it was like tied, or no, it was either tied with the highest, or I do know the highest that they ever had was the same that Resident Evil 2 used. I'm not sure. I can't remember if Majora's Mask had the same, but Majora's Mask did require you to have the expansion port. And I don't think RE2 did. I think RE2 it helped, but you didn't need it. So there was Majora's Mask was a very ambitious game for the N64.
Yeah,
it was very good looking.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't really played it though. I've only kind of just heard. It's one of those things you kind of hear a lot about it. It's also like a more interesting version of it.
Yeah. Well, it might be sort of like the BioShock thing we were going on about I don't know how many episodes ago, where maybe you just kind of missed the time where it would have been impressive, you know? Like at this point, like it's gonna be hard for you to look at that and not think like, oh, this is cliche, oh, this is like monotonous, oh, this is tedious. Because of course it is. It's like old, stupid shit now, right? Like every game has like improved on it in some way. It's gonna be hard to go back to it without like a really long weekend out in a cottage with no internet. Like that's the only time you're gonna be able to like really get into it.
Yeah. Even so, I'd probably like the other thing is like for myself in that exact thing, I completely missed Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but like GoldenEye and Mario 64 were there the whole time. Kind of like first I'm playing GoldenEye, I'm like I was like, I didn't even see many 2D games, and I was like, this game's insane. Like, this game is miraculous. How everything works, how this and that, and like the guns, it like looks so realistic. And so it's like
I remember, yeah, same. I thought it used to look realistic too.
You're like, holy moly! Like, how does this? How do they do this? Wow, they must know everything in Nintendo. Even though it's not Nintendo that made the game, but you know.
Yeah, Rare had some crazy shit they did on the N64, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I feel like each console had like some like one or two developer that was like the developer of the console. I can't think like there was
like Naughty Dog for every PlayStation console after the PS3. I guess it's only 2 of them, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like PS2 or like even PS1, like other than Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, because they did Crash, and then they did Jak and Daxter.
Yes.
No, they didn't do. What was it? Yeah, it was Crash and then Jak and then Uncharted and then it was Last of Us. That's such a good repertoire. That's such a good like. Wow.
Right? Like, yeah.
Wow.
I'm realizing that as well. It's like, holy moly, how do they? That's a lot of quality. Like, it's like Atlas for most of their stuff. They're pretty much just like, I don't know. I can't really think of a bad Atlas game realistically. They're all either just they're underperformed financially and just no one knows what the game and they're just kind of weird, or they underperformed and no one knows what the game and everyone loves them now, or I don't know. Like it's.
Yeah, the only problem I have with Atlas is that it's hard to get a hold of the games.
Yeah.
And they're usually a little bit more expensive. I remember Atlas was like the go-to on the 3DS. Like if you had a 3DS, then you had to have at least one good Atlas game. And like there's some good ones for sure. Like the one I liked the most was Stella Glow on the 3DS. That one was really good.
Stella Glow.
But that it was a little bit more expensive than every other game on the shelf. I remember that. It was like it wasn't because they were all $40 back then. Man, I miss those times. A brand new Nintendo game comes out, you fork over like $45 Canadian too. So it was like really cheap.
Yeah. Now
man, you can make that much in like 3 hours, dude. Like on a minimum wage job. That's so nice. But holy crap.
Like, here's my
then,
now
like a new game comes out and it has like middling reviews, but like it's like $80-$90. Like,
middling reviews. Now you don't know, like something like I bet what's his face? I bet like Pokemon, like I hear a lot of good things about Super Mario Party. Not sure what to think about the game, but I feel like there's like kind of like some criticism about people have had a game about the game that they're like, oh, I don't like this game because you have to use your phone or you have to use different Joy-Cons or something like that. It's like that's I think it's just something that you just if this came out 20 years ago, you just adapt to it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird market right now with the Switch because it feels like it's like half a generation. Yeah. Like and a lot of the games coming out are kind of like Wii U ports and stuff. Yeah. Like there are the select few that I don't think anyone disagrees. Like Mario Odyssey is incredible. Breath of the Wild obviously is incredible. Yeah. Fire Emblem Three Houses everyone liked. Both the Smashes for the Wii U and Switch are good. But then there are like the middle ones like I heard Luigi's Mansion 3 had like it was really good, but it was also like really short and kind of like cashed in a little bit. There was Mario Kart didn't get any hate, even though it was like almost the exact same game. But that's like another thing too. Like it sucks having to pay like full price for the game. Like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was the same. It actually released on the Switch at more than it did when it first released on the Wii U. Huh. Which is kind of wild. And they added in all they did was add in the Surfer Monkey, Surfer Gorilla guy. Do you remember the guy?
Chunky Kong.
I think so. It was like Uncle something.
Uncle Fester.
No, yeah, that's it. That's who.
That's who it was.
Comes with the hand on his shoulder.
Funky Kong.
Yep. That's who he was.
Yes. Because there's the meme. It's the meme about like they'd always have it's like Spubby, the subreddit would always be like Devil May Cry 4. Sorry, including Dante from Devil May Cry 4. And then end Knuckles and includes Funky Kong, and it's like, I guess, right, yeah.
That's exactly where it's from. See, I always see that meme, and I think the funniest part is featuring Dante because it says featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series or Devil May Cry. It's just so funny how it's the full like it's a sentence. Like, it's what do you remember what game that was? Like what was on the case that said featuring Dante? Because I can't seem to remember. It wasn't Soul Calibur. I don't think it was Marvel vs. Capcom. I can't seem to. I'll just look this up because I have the internet right here.
Yeah.
You can actually buy the sticker. the featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series sticker. Put that on like your water bottle. Like
Even. Yeah. Should use Flash. I receive Flash. 4 of that cave that I'm not gonna use. Oh, I can't go with the cave until I have Rock Smash. Well. Okay, guess we're out. Oh, right.
Oh, it's from the European release of Shin Megami Tensei Lucifer's Call.
That's a pretty.
I've never heard of that game.
No. It's probably just like the rename of like Devil Survivor 2. Like, I'm trying to think of even an example like that, but like there's just a bunch of random games for like I know for the N64, some of the European names of games are completely changed. I can't remember it exactly.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It says it's Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which I have heard of before.
There we go. Okay, let's see.
It's kind of. I thought it was something funnier, but no, it's just like an actual like here's a game.
It's just the game that just so happens it's like here's Dante.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this guy here, this chunky boy, he's like, I was gonna snap that tree, but I couldn't. I'm a failure. He gives me Punchy Punch, Rock Smash.
Oh, he's the Rock Smash guy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was there's a lot of random secrets. Like I find this game to be equivalent to like if you say Pokemon Gen 1 is Super Mario Brothers 3, this game is Super Mario World, because
yes,
like this game has a shit ton of secrets. Like this random guy, it took the amount of playthroughs I did without knowing where to get Fly was infuriating.
Oh yeah.
Being like, how do you get Fly in this game? And then I just talk to everyone, and I'm like, the amount of times I had to like swim back and forth as Cyan would, and then talk to the woman, and be like, "Here's Fly." I'm like, "Are you fucking like But it's like a mystery to it. It doesn't just hold your hand. I mean, obviously, you know, the whole story is me frustrated, but I'm like, oh, I love the game. I'm obviously nostalgic about it, but anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's certain merit to it, right? Like, it makes you kind of like get more into the game. Like you talk about it with your friends. Maybe you missed this. Maybe like it's a rumor. Like, oh, you can get this. It makes it more like RuneScape. You know, like
yeah.
Like people. RuneScape did not hold your hand. That shit was like, good luck. Don't lose your money from a scammer and try not to die in the wildy. Like that's. Like, man, the old Pokemon games were a bit like that, and a direct comparison is Sun and Moon, where every 3 seconds Hao comes up, like you were saying, puts his hands on his head, smiles, does that little tilt on his upper body, and then he says some stupid bullshit, and then he says it 3 more times in the same dialogue fucking text, and then you battle him, and then, you know, take 2 more steps, and then Lily comes and says some shit, and then you take 2 steps, and the professor comes, and he's like, oh hoy, and like, oh,
that's the worst. Fucking professor, he's like, oh hi.
Kukui. I know him very well, because he just popped up the whole game. Like, I couldn't like the game. Your character wasn't even the main character, dude. It was Lily, dude. You were just like a bystander. You were the camera guy.
You were the
of the main plot.
But then it's
game.
like
That was brutal.
It's super weird to get what do you call it? When like the story is just like it's like Lily took care of the star thing the whole time, Cosmod or whatever. It's
yeah,
like,
Nebby.
Nebby, and it's like why?
Get the fucking bag, Nebby.
And, yeah, get the fucking bag. Okay, you're now reminding me of the fucking lines. The amount of times you do have to talk to Lily is freaking absurd. Our words are lost on people who speedrun and don't check for the words. What? What was that?
The memes.
The meme. Oh, this is Chunky Boy. This is a big room. There's nothing here. I haven't unlocked the code just yet. Right.
Man, I forgot this whole place existed.
So
is this part of the story?
It's the one thing in Crystal that's kind of weird. They had it in silver, had it in gold. They did make it more of a thing in Crystal, obviously. I don't think it's part of the story. Like, there's a lot of things that make it seem like they hint they want it to be as part of the story. And like the Pokemon, like the 3rd movie or the 2nd movie, the 4th movie was was completely connected to Suicune. And like you know the intro cutscene has like Suicune being like trapped by the unknowns or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's they put emphasis on it, but it's also like, so what's the deal?
Yeah. I missed out a lot by not playing the third game of the series most of the time because I still to this day have not finished Emerald, not finished Crystal, not finished Yellow, I've not finished Platinum. Like I've only ever played like the first of the series. So like there's like so much like juicy bits. I gotta go through the whole series again, but just play the premium ones. And that's what I want to do next.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm learning right now just by having this going on.
Yeah. Yeah. The reason I'm going against Unown, so as I kind of just buzzed through it, if anyone's probably watching this. Also, usually Unowns are more blue. Something's with these colors. So the reason I'm going through this, I'm pretty sure Unown at this time is the best thing for experience. And it also gives special EVs.
Oh, that's good for both of our mons.
Right.
Actually, probably better for Vulpix.
Exactly. So I'm thinking of kind of just getting Vulpix to like level 12. Like 43 experience isn't very much, but it's like at this point there's not really much else you can do.
Yeah.
And then just the Unowns are everywhere. They're just like, oh, bro, here I am. I'm a demon.
Yeah, he's wiggling. They each have their own animation. That's crazy.
I think this game is like 1 megabyte in terms of size. Like
it's so small, and it was rushed too.
Yeah. And yet, like everything considered, they have all this everything. Like, anyway. Whoa.
And wait, does this game does Crystal work on the original Game Boy, or does it has to be the Game Boy Color?
It has to be color. I'm not entirely sure.
Silver and Gold did work on the original Game Boy, I think.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's crazy.
I think.
I'll look it up. I'm the lookup guy. I'm Dan.
You're Dan. Hey poopsies. Hey lovelies. No,
hey there, guy.
I really wish that this gen had like some kind of benefit to catching all the Unowns. Like, you know, there's like, each of them are like based after a letter, so you need to catch 26 of them, or like something like that. But like, and you can like so once I've done this, I think I have to catch an Unown and show it to one of the scientists and say like, hey, here's an Unown. He's like, whoa, you caught one of the letters? Like, let me give you the Unown Pokedex. It's a special little Pokedex you get that like shows like whether you have A, B, C, or D, or E, etc.